Hi, Carol Clark back again. We're in the lobby of the Justice Center in downtown Los Alamos with election night coverage. I have with me County Council Chair Sharon Stover, who is not seeking another election. Her term runs out December 31st, and she has decided to run for Los Alamos County Clerk. So we're very happy to have you with us, Sharon.
Thank you, Carol. It's good to see all the community people, even see some of the parties from off the, that we normally don't see here, some of the folks milling around, so it's good energy.
I see there's a group of people from the Senate candidate Alfredo Montoya's group that's here with us.
Yes, and I think there's also some from Senator Richard Martinez's camp as well. They just don't have their shirts on. But they're all here, and see some council candidates, and so it's good.
Now, what possessed you to decide to run for the county clerk position?
I just really wanted to kind of still stay involved, and I thought that would be, I do a lot of connection with the New Mexico Association of Counties. I'm the treasurer on the board, and have kind of made a connection there with Los Alamos, and just wanted to maybe continue that, and maybe not have the the heavy council work schedule demands, and thought maybe the clerk might be an opportunity, and also just to learn something new. I think we have a really good working county clerk's office, but wanted to try something different. And also I thought it was time for somebody else to get involved.
Now, you were on the county council when?
Gosh, I'm going to date myself. So I think the first time was in 1996. Yes, 96. And then in 1998 for 4 years. And then I got off and then ran in, so what would that be, 4 years?
2000, yeah, January 1st, 2009. Now, you also worked for the county for a time.
A long time ago, back in the days when it was Parks and Recreation. In fact, back where PAC 8 is, that was my old stomping grounds.
In the community building.
In the community building, and then later on was the assistant to the county administrator, and then had kids and decided to take time off and play mom for a while, and so have had in and out with the county since like 1979. So I feel like as county, if I get elected to county clerk, I feel like I kind of have a good understanding of how county government works. Know where to go get some answers if I need help.
And I know that you had one of the most incredible runs as county councilor in this term because of that enormous Las Conchas fire, in which you led, along with the police chief and the fire chief, an incredible several weeks keeping the community informed. You worked hand in hand with Governor Susana Martinez and people from the Emergency Operations Center at the laboratory, even the laboratory director, Charlie McMillan. That was an incredible run. What did you feel about all that?
Well, it was a very stressful time, and it's still there's always that opportunity for fire in our community, and but during that time, I also was on council during Cerro Grande fire. In fact, I was on leadership at the time, so we kind of had a lot of lessons learned from Cerro Grande that put us in a much better situation to deal with this fire. And we got really good staff that were able to handle it. They had good ties with the state, and I think that whole process, that whole event, actually strengthened our relationship with the state, with the governor. Kind of see her as a very good, strong friend of Los Alamos, and so I think we were just really lucky. Had all the right people in place. With staff at the time, as well as we have the new EOC. We didn't have that during Cerro Grande. That made a huge difference.
I still marvel at the brilliant idea of announcing the repopulation of Los Alamos very early in the morning. And did that come from Police Chief Wayne Torpy?
That was Chief Torpy's idea due to his experience in Florida with all the evacuations, all the hurricanes. So he knew exactly how to do it. The welcome stations were well set up to welcome people back into town. So it was a very well thought out.
Well, just prior to that, I had the opportunity to interview the head of the State Emergency Operations Center down in Santa Fe, and they were gathering all of the necessary items to set up those welcoming stations, and they wanted them about a mile apart. They did not know if they would have bumper-to-bumper traffic of cars trying to come back to their homes and maybe having to wait 4 and 5 hours in line, and maybe their cars overheat, maybe they run out of water, any number of things. They even had pet food ready just in case. And as it turned out, because he announced it so early in the morning, it took time for it to spread to all the people that were evacuated and with relatives down in Albuquerque or in other parts of the state. So it was a nice, steady, slow trickle all day long. In fact, I think it was that the day you and I went to.
Yes, that's the day we went to well, no, that was Saturday. I think we went on Saturday to see the mobilization. Dealing with fires brings out the best in people, and it brought out great resources from all over the nation. And we went and toured that camp in Enola that had been put together, and it was quite an impressive operation, from personnel to medical to the food. All those 2,000 workers that were on that's where they were also getting fed. So quite the feat. But I also think our community was so much better prepared for this fire, and that they knew how to respond after Cerro Grande fire as well. So a lot of the credit goes to the community as well for understanding. They knew when to click in, and we had more opportunity with the social media that we didn't have before. So people could, when you can broadcast live, people were in France were watching what was going on with the town meeting. So just that whole, how we've come along in terms of communicating to people, it helped as well.
When you say, Sharon, how a fire really brings out the best in people, I remember just being so touched by the fact that because of the fire, it drew wildlife down into our town, and there were many neighborhoods where bears were turning people's trash over, rummaging through the trash, and firefighters and police officers took it upon themselves. They did not want our citizens to come back to their homes and see them covered with trash. They just went up and down, drove all through the neighborhoods, and got out of their vehicles and picked up trash for people. I thought that was really marvelous.
Well, the attention to detail, but also we were fortunate because there were really no structures. I mean, there were structures lost, but not in our county directly. So no homes. Whereas with Cerro Grande, we had, the 400 and some homes that had been lost, and we didn't have that this go around. So it was, you're kind of dealing where we had time to do that kind of stuff because it was the right thing to do. Whereas if we would have had, and we were just lucky that they, you had somebody like Tucker that knew how to predict what that fire may be doing and where to mobilize the different, you saw that whole operation. So, in a sense, the people that were here to do all the right things, and we were lucky that we didn't have to do other, deal with loss of homes and stuff.
And by Tucker, of course, as our former fire chief, Doug Tucker, who has retired and moved to Arizona. We miss him a lot. Yes. But we welcome our new fire chief, Troy Hughes. So, well, Sharon Stover, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you all. We'll be back again soon.